What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Thursday, June 1st, 2023. We're already almost halfway through this year. Been a quick year. Got a little bit, don't got a real big slate of games today. Do got an NBA game, start of the NBA Finals, Nuggets and Heat. And then we have a few baseball games. A lot of the baseball games were day games today. So I think there's only like four or five games that they're actually in the evening time. And one of those start here in just about 20 minutes or so. I think one started like at 3:45, and then the rest of them start like at around 7:30, 7:40, and then I think one at 9 or something like that.
Something like that.
But I had a good day, another good day yesterday. I was 4-1 on my Major League Baseball picks yesterday. Only one I had wrong was I had the Astros beating the Twins, and the Twins ended up winning that game. So that puts me at 312 and 259 on the year.
I had a great day Tuesday, 5-0. I went almost the opposite. I went 1-4 yesterday. So it made up for it the day before, I guess. I got killed.
You know, like I said, the only one I lost, I had the Astros beating the Twins, and the Twins won that game. Our Reds got another big win last night. I sit here and watching the game just like the night before, thinking that bullpen's going to blow the game. We're going to lose again.
Milwaukee's losing right now, man. We need to win tonight.
Yeah, especially if Milwaukee lose, because we're only 3 games out of first in the division behind Milwaukee. We're only 1 game behind
Pittsburgh, I believe.
Yeah, behind Pittsburgh.
That's right. All right.
You're 1 game behind Pittsburgh to move up to second in the division, and only three out of Milwaukee. Reds have won 5 in a row. 6 of their last 7?
7 out of the last 10.
Yeah, 7 of their last 10. But yeah, they've won 5 in a row. This is the first time the Reds have beat Boston or won a series against Boston since 1975, which I know they don't play Boston a lot because now they'll start playing Boston more because of the new schedule where you play everybody. But the way the schedule used to be, that you didn't play Boston. You didn't play Boston a whole lot. But yeah, they had last time they beat the Red Sox in the series was in the World Series in 1975 until yesterday. They got that win yesterday, so they're going to win this 3-game series this week over the Red Sox, and that's going to be 2 series in a row coming off
4-game series, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 4-game. Yep.
So they get a sweep, they're going to have to get 4, but they've won the series 3-1, at least 3-1. They're 2 back from Pittsburgh right now.
Okay. I thought they were only 1 back, but okay.
See what this says. Pittsburgh's 28-27, we're 26-29.
Okay, 2 games.
So 3 games of Brewers and
Hey,
guys.
you two. We actually started a little bit late on purpose so you guys wouldn't be barking. Come on. See, we tried to plan so the dogs won't be barking. It still didn't work. Them dogs do what they want. Glenn says, that makes Tony feel old.
Yes.
Well, you wasn't at that World Series. You was at the World Series next year, right?
Yep. 76.
All right, I'll get the games pulled up, and we'll start with the baseball, and then we'll jump into the NBA Finals tonight, which I think is going to be. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm ready. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready for it to be back. I just don't like how they dragged the finals out.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I don't like. But and hockey starts Saturday. So yes. You still have a few days before that.
Yep.
Starting to get to the part of the year where there's not many professional sports going on.
Yeah, that's true.
Getting ready to get to where it's basically just baseball. Which, hey, if the Reds stay competitive like they have been, or just competitive, that's fine with me. I can watch them play when they're competitive. It gets tiring of watching when they're losing by 5-6 runs every game. But if they keep playing like they have so far this season, where they're in most games, they've scored. They're scoring a lot of runs right now. They've been scoring 8+ runs in most of the games. I know they didn't last night, but still there was 9 runs scored in that game last night if you combine it.
Yeah. bullpen's got to do better.
Yeah,
job.
bullpen has to. Man,
A closer does pretty well.
I wasn't comfortable at all last night. You had the 2-run lead going into the ninth, and I still wasn't comfortable. And we needed both those runs because they definitely scored a run and looked like they were going that they might take the lead. All right, Major League Baseball today. Right now, you have the Brewers and Blue Jays playing. Blue Jays are up 3-0, bottom of the eighth. Blue Jays have the bases loaded with 2 outs in that game. Then you have the Phillies at the Mets. The Mets are up 4-2, top of the eighth in that game. Live odds for that game is the Mets are minus 2,400. Phillies are plus 1,120. Then you have the Padres and Marlins who are playing right now. Padres at the Marlins. The Padres are up 10-1, bottom of the eighth in that game. Then we get to today's game. First game I like is going to be the Colorado Rockies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. That game starts here in about 20 minutes. Actually, the Diamondbacks are 1.5 run favorites. They're minus 174 on the money line. The Rockies are plus 146 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 9.5 runs. The Rockies are 24-33 on the season, 9-19 on the road. They will have Seabold on the mound tonight, who is 1-2 with a 5.94 ERA. Rockies are 2-3 over their last 5 games, hitting .260 as a team with a 5.25 team ERA. The Diamondbacks are 33-23 on the season, 18-12 at home. They will have Davies on the mound tonight, who is 0-1 with a 5.68 ERA. D-backs are 4-1 over their last 5. They're hitting .262 as a team and have a 4.31 team ERA. I like the Diamondbacks at the minus 174 on the money line at home. They were able to pick up a win yesterday. The pitching matchup, neither one of these pitchers have pitched real well, as you can tell with the ERAs both in the 5s. But Diamondbacks hit the ball well, and they have a little bit better bullpen than what the Rockies do. So I'm gonna go with the Diamondbacks on the money line. Next game I like in Major League Baseball: Cincinnati Reds at the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox are 1.5 run favorites, minus 162 on the money line. The Reds are plus 136 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 9.5 runs. On the over and under. The last 2 games, last night's game, there was 9 runs scored. The game before that, there was like 16 runs, like 16 runs scored. So they have been scoring a lot of runs in this series, but 9.5 is a little too many for me. But the Reds are 26-29 on the season, 12-15 on the road. They will have Hunter Green on the mound tonight, who's 1-4 with a 4.1 ERA. The Reds are 5-0 over their last 5 games. They're hitting .257 as a team and have a 4.94 team ERA. Hunter Green's 1-4 record is a little deceiving. He's pitched better than a 1-4 record, but hasn't got the run support in some of the games that he's pitched. But his last 2 or 3 outings, he's really pitched well. Really, since we went and watched him play the Yankees that day, I know they lost that game, but he pitched pretty good. He pitched like 7 innings, only gave up 3 runs and like I think 4 hits. Unfortunately, a couple of them was home runs, but he didn't pitch a bad game. And then his next game after that, he's next couple starts after that, he's pitched real well. So I like Hunter Green on the mound. For the Red Sox, they're 28-27 on the season, 15-13 at home. They have Sell on the mound, who has a 5-2 record with a 4.72 ERA. Red Sox are 2-3 over their last 5. They're hitting .264 as a team and have a 4.70 ERA. I like the way the Reds have been hitting the ball, so I'm gonna go with the Reds again at the plus 1.5. I went with them the last two days at the plus 1.5, and they've ended up winning both those games. Like I said, they've won 5 in a row after sweeping the Cubs, and then now they've won the last 2 against the Red Sox. And then the last game, there's only two more games, but last game I like, you got the Angels at the Houston Astros, and of course they got that locked, but they got the odds locked on FanDuel for a minute, so they must be making the change. I'll see what comes up of that in a minute. But the Angels are 30-27 on the season, 15-14 on the road. They will have Detmers on the mound, who is 0-4 with a 4.93 ERA. The Angels are 2-3 over their last 5 games, hitting .258 as a team with a 4.23 team ERA. The Astros are 32-23 on the season, 15-13 at home. They will have Valdez on the mound tonight, who is 5-4 with a 2.38 ERA. Astros are 3-2 over their last 5, hitting .243 as a team, and they have a 3.25 ERA. Biggest thing for the Astros has been scoring runs. Their pitching hasn't been bad. I mean, they got 3.25 ERA. You would think they'd have a little bit better record than what they have, but you're only hitting 243, and that's actually coming up because they kind of got off to a slow start hitting the ball, kind of like they did last season. But yeah, so they're only hitting 243. They don't have the odds up yet, but I like the Astros on the money line. I think they were at minus like 155 or something is what they were at. But for some reason, FanDuel has them locked where you can't see them right now. Once that comes up, I'll let you know those for sure. But that's my baseball picks for tonight. There's only one other game, and that's the Guardians and the Twins. And the Twins are 1.5 run favorites, minus 144 on the money line. Guardians are plus 122 on the money line. Over-under is at 8 runs for that game. But my picks are going to be Diamondbacks money line, Reds plus 1.5, and the Houston Astros on the money line. So that's what I have for Major League Baseball for tonight.
Yeah, my Major League Baseball for tonight, I got Colorado at Arizona. Take Arizona money line. I got Cleveland at Minnesota. I'll take Minnesota money line. And I got the Los Angeles Angels at Houston. I'll take Houston money line.
Like I said, I wish they would show the odds on that game. They've changed or something's happened because they got them locked. So I don't know if and then in golf, real quick, you got the Memorial Tournament going on right now. I'll be honest, I haven't watched any of it yet today. But John Rahm is your favorite at plus 450. Then McIlroy at plus 850. I know the live golfers weren't allowed to play in this tournament, so there is no Brooks Koepka and them guys. Patrick Cantley's plus 1,200. Lowry's at plus 1,800. Hovland, who I like I said, I haven't seen how they're playing today, but I like Hovland at the plus 1,800. He's been striking the ball real well here the last couple tournaments. And then tonight, NBA basketball, NBA final start. You have the Miami Heat at the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are 9-point favorites, minus 370 on the money line. The Heat are plus 295 on the money line. Over-under is at 219. This game's been a hard game for me to pick. I think Denver wins the game, but the 9 points is what I'm stuck on. But then I was looking at it a little deeper last night. Denver is undefeated at home in the playoffs. I think it's 8-0 at home. And they've been winning at home in the playoffs by an average of 12 points. The Nuggets were 2-0 in the regular season versus the Heat. They won those games, one by 5 points and one by 4 points. Over the last 8 seasons, the Heat have only beat the Nuggets in one game. And them are all regular season games. It's totally different. I mean, I know you can't put a whole lot into that. But I mean, they are numbers. I'm gonna go with the over the 219. Both games that these two teams played to get against each other in the regular season were over the 219. Like I said, with Denver winning one game by 4, winning the other game by 5. I think Denver wins this game. I think it's going to be a closer. I think it's going to be a closer game. So I just don't like the 9 points. So I'm gonna go with the over the 219.
Yeah, I'm going with over 219. All the NBA picks I've made most of the season, especially in the playoffs, have been over and unders. I don't like the point spreads a whole lot. I look at the 2 different ways. I look at it. Denver's got a long layoff. How much that's going to affect them. Also look at, could Miami be wore out? Also. So I think both. But I think Miami is going to come out strong. I think they're going to come out real strong. And I wouldn't be shocked if they don't get a 10 or 12 point lead on Denver early. But then I think Denver will settle in, especially being at home. And I also got to worry about Miami's stamina up, in Colorado.
Yeah, playing the altitude.
And coming off a tough series, emotionally and physically. Um, yeah, I like I like Denver in 6. It wouldn't shock me if they went in 5. I'm gonna go with Denver in 6, but yeah, I'm gonna go over the 219. But
FanDuel has it at 9. The Fox Sports Bet has it Nuggets at 8.5. I'm not sure what DraftKings has it, but and my problem with it is I think Denver wins the game. I think 9 points might be too many, but I don't even like the 9 points with the Heat, taking the Heat plus 9, because I could also see this game being the Nuggets winning by 10 or 11 points. It's just I want to see how this first game goes, because like I said, the Nuggets have been winning on an average of by 12 points at home during the playoffs. But this is the finals. First time Denver's been in the finals. So how are they going to respond to that? But I really like Denver's coach, Malone. I think he's going to have them ready to play. I like the attitude they've had throughout the playoffs. It's like, yeah, when they even when they beat the Lakers, won the Western Conference Finals, they wasn't going crazy celebrating. Their attitude was, we still have four more. I like that, and the same thing with the Heat. I like the way the Heat's attitude has been, and the stuff that Spoelstra has said to his team, and they're kind of the same. Where, hey, we have our eye on one goal. It don't matter how we get there or what happens. This is the goal, and we're working towards it. So I think it's going to be interesting tonight. But I like the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets win. But the pick I'm going to give out is going to be over the 219.
Do you think it makes a difference? I mean, this may sound crazy, but I think for Miami to have a chance, they need to win tonight. Game 1. I know some people say, well, as long as they get one game there in Denver out of these first 2, and that's true. I guess they would be in good shape. But I think that just if they won that first game, I think it would set the tone for them. I think it puts all the pressure on Denver then. What do you think?
Oh yeah, no, I agree. It'd be big for them to win that first game, because then the pressure is on Denver to have to win, basically have to win that next game to get home court back. You don't want to go down 0-2 at home. But man, Denver's been so tough at home. I mean, just watching them throughout the playoffs, I mean, they've been dominant at home.
I haven't lost yet, have I?
No, and they've been winning by an average of almost 12 points at home.
No.
So Denver's it's a tough place to play. They got a good fan base there. You got the altitude, and then you got a good team. I think Miami, I know this is going to sound kind of strange, but I think Miami needs to try to I think they need to force Jokic to be a scorer. I think that's an advantage. If they get him in the mindset of trying to score, I think that's an advantage for Miami, because then he's not getting everybody, all the other people involved with his passing ability and with his assist. I think if you can try to force him to score, even if he gets his points, if you're stopping the other guys from getting the points off his passing, I think that's Miami's formula to win the game. Is try to turn Jokic into a scorer instead of being a facilitator.
Because if Jokic
when he's a facilitator, he gets everybody else going.
If he scores 38 and everybody else is scoring 12, but if he scores 24, 26 and Murray goes off and somebody else goes off,
Porter goes off,
it's gonna be a lot tougher to beat.
Yeah, so I think if they can D up the other guys, make it hard for Jokic to get the ball, pass the ball to them guys, make him have to be more your in scoring mode. I think that gives Miami their best chance to win, because when he's out there comfortable being a facilitator, that Denver offense gets rolling, and them other guys get hot. He'll go through spurts where he don't even look to shoot the ball.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I think he does it too much, because he's one of them weird stars where he's not a selfish player. I mean, hell, there was times in that fourth quarter of the games against the Lakers, he might only take 1-2 shots, if that. If the guy's eye, he's gonna give him the ball. So, I think it's more of a thing. Make Jokic be a scorer and try to contain everybody else. I think that would be their best bet. I think they're going to try to do that go to that zone like they did against the Celtics. I don't know if that zone will work as good against Denver because of the passer that Jokic is. And man, if Denver shoots the ball like they've been shooting, they got so many shooters on that team with Murray and Brown and Porter. So
I think
it's gonna be. Like I said, I'm interested in it. I'm ready to watch it. And I'll be probably flipping back and forth between the Reds and Red Sox game.
I think Denver's too deep.
I do too, but I've been saying that about every team Miami has played throughout the playoffs, and they're still here.
Yeah, everybody thought Boston was too deep. Everybody thought Milwaukee was too deep. But yeah, so
No, I thought the Knicks were too deep.
Yeah,
I thought the Knicks was going to beat them. So, and here I am again saying that I think the Nuggets are going to beat them. They've won all them other series, but I think the Nuggets are a different animal as well.
You think Butler has put himself up there as a top 10 NBA player?
Playing in the league right now?
Yes.
I'd put him up there around. I would say probably top 10 playing right now.
I think he could be top 5. Because you got some people going down, like LeBron's going down the list. I mean, I'm not putting LeBron down.
Yeah, but he's getting older. He's getting older. He's not the same player.
He's still
effective. He's still a good player, but he's not the same. I don't know. I'd have to think about maybe. But I think he's definitely put himself up there in the conversation of being top 10 in the league right now. I mean, I know a lot of people like Booker. I'd take Jimmy Butler over Booker.
This year, definitely. I think if you compare them to this year, I think you take Butler for sure. I think, but
yeah, it's going. Like I said, it's going to be interesting. Got some good baseball today. If you missed our interview last night with the Thunder Blunder promoter Walter Buckley, talking about Thunder Mania coming up June 24th, right outside Columbus, Ohio. Go check out that interview. He's put together a great card. It's going to be an awesome show. Unfortunately, we were already booked somewhere else, so we won't be at that show this time. We've done a couple of his other shows, but by the time he got everything together, somebody had already booked us for a couple of other shows on that day. But especially if you're in the Columbus, Ohio area, go check him out. The guy's put together a good card, and I hope a crowd shows up for it. If you go check out the link on our Facebook, on our page, there's actually a link where you can get online and get tickets. Or you can go to Walter Buckley's Facebook page. There's a link on there where you can get tickets. He has some good deals going on tickets right now. Right now online, you can get tickets for $15 or 2 for $25 or 4 for $50. Not at the door, prices are going to be $20 a ticket. So it's going to be a little different at the door. But right now, you can get them for $15. And like I said, if you buy more than one online, you can get good deals. I mean, 4 for $50, that's pretty good deal.
Yes,
even the 2 for $25 is a good deal.
AEW star Brian
Pillman Jr.
taking on Mercer, Shane Mercer, who's wrestled all over the country and the world, and outstanding. A lot on Game Changer Wrestling. I think he's been on the AEW Dark. He's really good, really outstanding, and he's got a bunch of outstanding matches and wrestlers on this card. I mean,
he got
a bunch of main event matches.
You got Jake Oman, who's wrestled in like 23 different countries. I mean, it's going to be a real good card. Has Dalton Love, Luke Savage, who you've seen here on our show some on that card. Jake Chris, he's actually wrestling for Impact right now, just made his return.
Yes.
So I mean, he has a real good card put together. And that's not even mentioned Ari Alexander. That's been on OVW, AEW Dark, and all that. So should be a great card. Go check it out. I did want to ask you a question. What'd you think about Edie? Did you see that? Edie from Purdue. He withdraw from the NBA draft, come back to Purdue. I think it's a smart decision.
Yes, I do too.
I was glad to see that.
Yeah, I think it was a smart move. He wasn't going to be a top 10 pick. I
think he realized he's actually going to make more money on his NIL deal with Purdue, or well, I shouldn't say with Purdue, but in college than what he was probably going to make coming out of the draft this year.
You think he'd have went first round?
I don't. If he did, it'd been late first round. But I don't think he was going to be. I don't think he'd have been top. I don't think he'd been top 20. If he went, I think it'd be real late in the first round. I think it's smart. I think it was a good move, because he showed a lot of improvement from last year or the year before until last year. You know what I mean? We watched him in the Big Ten championship the year before, and then if you watch him play last year, he looked like a totally different guy. I think he needs another year to improve a little bit more. His game, his style of game, just don't necessarily translate to the NBA right now, because the NBA they're looking for guys that can shoot the ball. They're not looking for big guys that just stay down low. And he's not a shooter.
He's not a great defender either. And at least I don't think he will be in the NBA. Maybe college he's better, but not in the NBA he won't be. So he's got to work on that. Yeah, they lost that game, but what was crazy to me is he never shot the ball the last like 15 or 16 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
He's the best scorer on the team. What was going on? Why wasn't he being fed the ball? And why it didn't make any sense?
I have no idea. I didn't understand that either.
I mean, I've always liked Painter as a coach, but man, I started questioning that big time.
Brad Stevens from the GM of the Celtics says that they want to bring back Jaylen Brown and Missoula. So which I told you, I thought Missoula was, if they got swept, I thought he was going to be gone. But I think getting into Game 7, he got a chance for another year. But I thought they would keep Brown. I think you're crazy to get rid of Brown at this point.
I think they're way to get rid of Brown.
Because like I said, scoring wings is what everybody wants in the NBA, and you have two of them two real good ones on Boston. So you're, I think you build around that core.
I think the only way you get rid of Brown if somebody just offers you a great deal. Somebody just comes up and offers you something that, hey man, we got to do this. That'd be the only way.
Hey, how's it going, Billy?
That's my opinion.
Yeah, hey, Reds have been hot here lately. Hopefully we can keep it up tonight against those Red Sox. And then Glenn said could be a Painter thing. I think if Painter don't have a good show, he don't do something this year, especially if his team's ranked real high again, he might be gone at Purdue.
You would think with them young freshmen they had, and
yeah, because they had a young team last year. You think they'd be even better this year, but
yeah, because they wouldn't.
You can't keep getting put out early in the NCAA tournament,
they weren't expected to be where they were this year. So that may give them a little.
And I know sometimes he's gone to this level, but if you get rid of him, are you going to be able to find a guy that can get at least that? So you're taking a chance, but how many times are they going to let him get to the NCAA tournament with a lot of talent and not do anything with it?
That's true.
So it's interesting. I think if they was to get put out early this year in the tournament, I think that you're going to start hearing some conversation. Which hell, all the Purdue fans wanted them to go last season.
They were pretty upset. Yeah,
I'm not a Purdue fan, so I don't know as much about I don't really care if they fire him or not. No, I'm an IU fan, and IU has got some good recruits.
I'm an IU fan, but if Big Ten tournament. Or
the
NCAA tournament.
If IU got put out of the tournament and Purdue was still in it, I'd root for Purdue to keep moving on. But
speaking of IU, what are you expecting from them this year?
I think they're going to be good. You're losing Davis, and I still think the one guy made a mistake. Of course, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I wish he'd have played one more year. But they did just pick up, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but a big recruit, highly touted recruit. I like what Woodson's doing there. I think we'll be pretty good again.
I hope so. Big shout out to the Ball State Cardinals baseball team. Made the NCAA tournament. They play tomorrow, I believe, evening. They play Kentucky at Lexington. IU's also there. I think you said West Virginia, maybe?
I'm pretty sure it's West Virginia.
That's who they play. Ball State's coming in as the.
I know Ball State's a MAC school, but I'm telling you, don't overlook them. They've played against IU this year. One game I think won like 23-22 or some crazy stuff. I mean, they played IU a couple times, and they've been right there.
They've got a real good pitcher. They got a real good starting pitcher, and they've got a backup guy who's their number 2 that's a 5-year starter. So they've got a couple pretty good pitchers. They're pretty confident. They think they can go in there and compete with Kentucky and maybe beat them. So hopefully that'd be nice for Ball State.
I'm planning on watching some of that tomorrow.
just communicated with a friend of ours. I think he's going tomorrow.
I figured he was going.
I think he's going to be going.
If I had the money, I'd go. It'd be fun to watch.
Oh, yeah,
I figured he was going to go because he goes to a lot of the games here in town.
I didn't know if he'd go there, or if he might go because they're having tournament games at Indiana State.
Yeah,
but that's Terre Haute, so that's a pretty good drive too. So.
Probably, maybe a little farther, just as far.
Yeah.
And going to Lexington, he not only does get to watch Ball State, he could watch IU if he could go early and watch IU if he wanted to. So
yeah, I think IU might be Saturday.
Oh, is it Saturday?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
You know, what I mean, if it worked out where they were playing the same day, he would go.
Oh yeah, no, he might stay around and go Saturday. Who knows?
Glenn said he flies out to St. Louis tomorrow. Yeah, you're going down there for the race, right?
Is that the NASCAR?
Yeah. Yeah, and he's not going to get to see his favorite driver because they suspended him.
Yep.
For wrecking a guy. They said he wrecked the guy on purpose, which he probably did, but hey, it happens. Can't be so soft.
Yep.
Guy bumped him. They went in the wall. He came out of the wall and spun him out. Hey, I've seen worse. I understand though. You don't want people doing that because hey, it is dangerous. It's a dangerous sport. But hey, sometimes that happens. A guy from speaking of that guy who won the 500, Newgarden.
Yep. He
was on Pat McAfee show yesterday. Okay. And they were talking to him. He said people were pissed at him, that move he made at the end, where he went in that last lap, where he went when he got the lead, and then when he came around the corner, he went almost to pit road. You know what I'm talking about? I think they called it the dragon move or something. But he went to pit road and he came back up almost all the way to the wall.
Yeah.
He said there was a lot of people that didn't like that. He said it's legal. He said I knew the rules. He goes at a lot of tracks, if you go down and you go down like you're going to pit lane and commit to it, you have to go through pit lane. He said they don't enforce that in Indy. He said so I knew the rules. He goes I was trying to take up as much space as I could to make sure he couldn't get by me. I knew the rule. It's legal, so he basically said get over it. Which I
agree.
Yeah, it was a good interview. If you haven't seen it, he was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. He was the first guy on there, so it's during the first hour of the show. If you get on YouTube and watch it, but yeah,
I was happy.
Pretty good.
I was happy he won. He's been a real great driver for IndyCar and never been able to win that 500. It's kind of been a thing over his head that he's never been able to win at 500.
Well, he said he had the attitude that day that either he was winning the 500 or the car wasn't coming back.
I thought it was cool that what he did. I thought he was going to be like Castanevis and he was going to climb the fence. He went through the fence and went into the ground.
And about that, they asked him if that was just something that happened emotionally or if he had planned that. He said, I've been planning that since I was a little kid. He said, if I had ever won the 500, I was going. He said, but my plan was, he goes, I did think it out good enough. He goes, because my plan. He goes, I knew exactly where the entrance was to get in and all that. Mm-hmm. So he said, I seen Helio climb it. He said, but I was going to go through, and he knew where to get in. He said, but my plan was I was going to go all the way to the top of the stands. He said, but then I realized I'm this little dude. I'm looking up to everybody's chest. I get about 4 rows up, and I feel like I'm going to get smothered because he still had his helmet and everything on. He's like, oh, I got to get out of here. He goes, he says, that's why I was only up there about 30 seconds. Yeah. He goes, it didn't go as well as I thought. He said, but I had to. He goes, I've been planning that. If I ever was lucky enough to win at 500, I knew what I was going to do. But he said I knew where I was going to stop the car, everything. But yeah, he said he just did. But he planned on going up to the top of the grandstands and celebrating, but he didn't make it that far. I think he made like 4th or 5th row.
It was an awesome race. It was really good. So.
Oh yeah, it was a good race. I guess that Formula One had a race that same day, and McAfee was saying it was terrible. I guess he watched it before the 500, and he said it was terrible because he was asking that guy about the F1. He said, and that driver, Newgarden said that F1 is more about the cars and the equipment, where IndyCar is more about the drivers and the teams.
I didn't think Rogers could get more coverage, but I think he's actually going to get more coverage with the Jets than he got with Green Bay.
Oh yeah. Well, it's New York, and it's New York and the Jets. When's the last time the Jets were good? It's been a while.
That's true.
Rex Ryan was there. That's when they beat us in the playoffs. All right. Well, do you got anything else before we get out of here?
No, I think I'm good to go.
My picks for today, I'll recap them real quick. I'm going to go with Miami and Denver over the 219 NBA Finals tonight. Major League Baseball, Diamondbacks money line, which that game just started. Reds plus 1.5, and the Astros on the money line. Again, my picks were 4-1 yesterday. That puts me at 312 and 259 on the year. We appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room as well. It's where we post all the information about our upcoming shows and events. Also, you can find Easy Money, a sports betting show, in podcast form on Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Check us out over there. Please rate and review. We'd greatly appreciate it. And we will see you guys tomorrow right around 3 o'clock with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Hope everybody has a great Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow.